When the Rangers are in a bind and need a little extra help, the Green Ranger joins the fight, using his Dragon Dagger to summon one of the most iconic singular Zords ever from the bottom of the sea, the Dragonzord. Hello everyone, I am Sentai5 and welcome to the next installment of Megazord Formation. Welcome back to Megazord Formation. Thank you all for the words of encouragement from the first video, and glad it was really well received, especially for a new channel starting out. This episode will be dedicated to one of my favorite Zords of all time, the Dragonzord. But before we get started, I just wanted to give a special shout out to the man, the myth, and legend, Jason David Frank, who we tragically lost last November. He's dearly missed and his impact on Power Rangers is too big to even put into words. If you're going through it, always know that you're not alone, and there are many sources to get help. It's one of the reasons why I always end my videos with "be well and stay safe," because life is absolutely rough and it just hits you hard. Trust me, I know how difficult it is to be in this world. Just know that you're not alone. The Dragonzord is the personal Zord of the Green Ranger. Despite being a Dinozord, it's not based on a dinosaur, nor is it based on a prehistoric creature. But we'll get into that a little later in this video. The Dragonzord stands at a height of 38 meters, which is 124.7 feet. It weighs 170 tons and has a length of 62 meters. Its speed reaches 140 kilometers per hour, which is 87 miles per hour, matching the speed of the Triceratops Dinozord. The collector bio card from the original toy line lists the Dragonzord at a height of 277 feet, a weight of 233,000 pounds, and it has a power of 39,000 megavolts. In Zyuranger, it was known as Dragon Caesar. The Dragonzord is another Zord that specializes in close combat, much like the Tyrannosaurus Dinozord. Its tail is equipped with a drill that can be used against its enemies, whether it's one of Rita's monsters or its fellow Dinozord allies. When the red dots on its chest start flashing, you better run and take cover, as it launches missiles from its fingers, destroying everything in its path. The Dragonzord also has a backup re-energizing system that takes about 12 hours to be fully restored, which was implemented as a security measure. When summoned by the Green Ranger, it mightily rises up from the depths of the ocean, ready for battle. The Dragonzord has been shown to fight not just on the ground, but also under the sea, as well as having the ability to blast off into space with its flight mode, as seen in the Boom Studios comics. Although the Dragonzord is capable of fighting on its own, it fares much better when combined with the other Zords. The first formation, known as the Dragonzord in Fighting Mode, alternatively called Dragonzord Battle Mode. The Dragonzord replaces the Tyrannosaurus and Pterodactyl as it forms the body, head, and chest. The Mastodon wraps around it, forming the same Megazord arms, and then descends onto the Triceratops and Saber-toothed Tiger feet. It stands at a height of 43 meters, which is 141.1 feet, and a weight of 560 tons. Despite the Tyrannosaurus and Pterodactyl Dinozords are left out of the formation, the Red and Pink Rangers are still present in controlling this new, powerful Megazord, as the cockpit doesn't really change, just removing the combined power coin symbol. In Zyuranger, it was known as Goryujin. The Dragonzord Battle Mode has an incredible power staff, made of the Dragonzord's tail, chest piece, and a random column that comes out of nowhere. It would be used to thrust and impale its enemies with a charged finishing blow. The Dragonzord also has another formation known as the Mega Dragonzord. It simply splits in half and rests on top of the Megazord, making it a 6-piece formation rather than the 4-piece of the Dragonzord Battle Mode. It stands at a height of 58.2 meters, which is 190.1 feet, and weighs 740 tons. This powerhouse has two main attacks, the first being a triple beam attack where 2 blue beams from the side and a gigantic yellow beam from the chest would fire at its enemies. The second attack consists of charging the Z symbols on both sides, creating a giant Z attack, disintegrating its enemies. This mode was only used once on its own, but was more commonly used for the Ultrazord formation, which will obviously be covered in my Titanus video next time. In Zyuranger, the Mega Dragonzord was known as Jutei Daijujin. While these are the only two formations we see of the Dragonzord in the main universe, that wasn't the end of it, as we saw a new powered up Dragonzord in the Boom Studios comics, combined with the White Tiger Zord to form the White Tiger Dragonzord, as well as combined with the Thunder Megazord to form the Dragon Thunder Zord. The design of the Dragonzord was created by legendary designer Tsuyoshi Nonaka. It was designed as a homage to the kaiju genre, specifically Godzilla and Mechagodzilla. Initially, the Dragonzord had blue eyes in the concept art before it being changed, and had a hexagonal attack, which was never seen. Dragonzord Battle Mode's visor was also blue in its concept art. Another thing to note is that the Dragonzord tail and chest attached to the sides of the Mega Dragonzord, but never appeared in the show like that, only the concept art and toy. There was also a rough sketch made by Katsushi Murakami. Despite the Green Ranger riding mostly on top, the Dragonzord also has a cockpit which was seen in the green candle, matching the other Rangers' cockpits. Although the cockpit for Dragonzord Battle Mode has a minor change, it sure has a major change for the Mega Dragonzord, as it allows a seat for the Green Ranger, where he sits behind Red. In addition to this, the 45th Sentai series, Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger, pays homage to Dragon Caesar with Zenkaiser's power-up item, the Zenkaiju gear, becoming Super Zenkaiser, which is a homage to both Dragon Caesar and Goryujin, as well as Zenkaiju-O. Now that the technical stuff is out of the way, let's move on to the lore. It's unknown how or when exactly the Dragonzord was created, whether it was Rita, Zordon, Ninjor, or someone or something else. Unlike the other Dinozords, the Dragonzord is not tied to the power points, but rather the Dragon Dagger instead, as it obeys the melodies it produces for summoning and performing its attacks. Eventually, Rita comes into possession of the Dragonzord, where it remains at the bottom of the sea for thousands of years, until the day it rises up to wreak havoc. When the Green Ranger was freed from Rita's spell, the Dragonzord joined the team, becoming a powerful ally to the Dinozords as it assisted on the side or combined. Eventually, when Rita exhausted the Green Ranger powers via the Green Candle, the Dragonzord coin and Dragon Dagger were transferred to the Red Ranger to be used when in need. Eventually, the Green Ranger powers were temporarily recharged, and the Dragonzord returned to its old friend for yet another temporary tenure. This time, it was more risky as the Green Ranger powers were severely weakened and could give out at any moment's notice. When the upgrade to the Power of Thunder came, the Dragonzord was opted out by Zordon due to its powers being severely weakened to take on Lord Zed's monsters. In its final run, the Dragonzord would occasionally be used, one time fighting alongside the Thunder Megazord, although not seen on screen together for obvious reasons, until the Green Ranger powers were completely gone. After that, it returned to its slumber beneath the sea until the Wizard of Deception created his Green Ranger clone, where it would be summoned again, this time to take on the White Ranger and his White Tiger Zord, and proving to be quite formidable this time around. After that, it once again returned to the sea, where it would lay dormant till this very day. But that's not the end of the Dragonzord story for the Power Rangers side of things. In the Boom Studios universe, former 1969 Red Ranger Grace Sterling and her organization Promethea worked with Billy to upgrade the Dragonzord, giving it a sleeker look with more capabilities than ever before, to be used by her all-new Green Ranger, Matt Cook. Here it would combine with the Thunder Megazord and White Tiger Zord, as previously mentioned before. In Jew Ranger, Dragon Caesar was part of the Guardian Beasts, who were gods. It would assist Dragon Ranger whenever summoned by the melodies of the Jusoken. When Dragon Ranger died, Dragon Caesar became depressed until realizing the Jew Rangers would still always be there and would always need assistance, resulting in a new partnership with Tyranno Ranger. When Bandora and her gang were sealed up by the Jew Rangers, Dragon Caesar resided with his Guardian Beast friends and Jew Rangers in heaven until he would return once again to help Earth in a couple of its darkest hours. Much like Daijujin, Goryujin was voiced by Eiji Maruyama, and Dragon Caesar's suit actor was the legendary Hideaki Kusaka, who was also the suit actor for all of its formations. The Goryujin suit was once seen at Toei's movie Hero Land about 15 to 17 years ago. As of November 2022, the filming model for Dragon Caesar was seen at the Attack, which stands for the Anime Tokusatsu Archive Center in Tsukugawa, Japan. Some notable battles of the Dragonzord are its debut in Green with Evil Part 5, its first fight as Dragonzord Battle Mode in Itsy Bitsy Spider, its loss against Mutitus' Toxic Foam in Island of Illusion, its first use only as the Mega Dragonzord in Island of Illusion Part 2, the fight against Cyclops in Green Candle, the fight against Cyclopsis in Doomsday, falling into the control of Goldar in Return of an Old Friend, its fight against the Mighty Morphin Mutants, falling under Parantis Head's control in the Mutiny, its first fight with the Thunder Megazord against Primitor in Wannabe Ranger, its fight against Turban Shell in Green No More, and its last hoorah in Return of the Green Ranger, where it fought against the White Tiger Zord. Now let's move on to the merchandise portion of this video. Both Dragon Caesar and Dragonzord saw deluxe releases in 1992 and 1993. They used the same mold and parts, but different stickers. Dragon Caesar would see a more budget-friendly release, much like the special-sized version of Daijujin, but oddly enough there was no such release for Dragonzord in the MMPR toy line. In 1994, there were the Micro Machines release of the Dragonzord. Moving on to 2004, the Advanced Super Sentai World Gashapon line had Goryujin, which looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. We jumped to 2014 with Bandai's Legacy version of the Dragonzord, which had a brand new mold and die-cast parts. 2016 would see the release of a black and gold version, which is the one I currently own right now. Later that year was the release of the Imaginext remote-controlled Dragonzord. 2017 saw the release of the Solo Chogokin. 2017 also had the release of the Super Mini Pla, which would also have a re-release in 2022 commemorating 100 releases of the Super Mini Pla and Shokugan modeling project line. That same year, Imaginext released the Dragonzord Battle Armor, which was a Battleizer-like figure for their line. 2017 also had the release of the Dragonzord in the Funko Pop line, ranging from a regular release to its black and gold release for New York Comic Con that year, and a Target exclusive version with Titanus labeled as the Ultrasword, despite not having the Megazord. 2018 would have seen the release of a black and gold Mega Dragonzord for the Imaginext line, but it never came to be, possibly due to Hasbro acquiring the brand. In 2019 there was a Dragonzord minifigure, part of Hasbro's Playskool Heroes line. 2021 had the third-party release of the Dragonzord as T-Rex Caesar in Black Seed Toys Power Ranger line, which was also able to combine with the previously released Beast Giant. 2022 saw a plethora of Dragonzord releases, first of which being the Zord Ascension Project release, which could obviously combine with the Zap Megazord. Hasbro also released the Dragonzord Battle Mode in their Retro Megazord line, exclusive to Walmart. Next, Super 7 had a couple of releases such as the Super Cyborg Dragonzord with a clear variant, the Reaction Dragonzord, and Dragonzord Battle Mode figures, which have 5 points of articulation. Coming soon in June 2023, Super 7 will release an articulated Dragonzord for their Ultimates line. In July 2023, the Dragonzord is slated to get released in the Vinimates line alongside the Megazord in a 2-pack. Finally, Flame Toys will be releasing the Karakuri Combined Dragonzord, which is a complete reimagining of the Mighty Zord, to go along with their Megazord, releasing later this year. A release date for this Dragonzord is yet to be announced. I'm not too sure if I covered every single piece of Dragonzord merchandise throughout its history, but I know I covered a majority. If there's anything I missed, please let me know in the comments. There have been a couple of video game appearances for the Dragonzord over the years, starting off with Dragon Caesar appearing in the Famicom Zyuranger game back in 1992. And next is Enway's Power Rangers Legacy Wars, where you can play as the Dragonzord against Megazords and monsters. Unfortunately, there's no fan segment for this video because there were no submissions. But if you made it this far to the video, thank you again for watching, and hope you got your Dragonzord fix from this. Join me next time as we grab the Thunderslinkers from the top of the mountain and talk about Titanus the Carrier Zord. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video as always. Be well, stay safe, and I'll see you all next time.